Project-based learning is a form of teaching where students create either a question or answers to a question in order to complete a goal or create something for someone.
PBL is where students take initiative for their own learning.
Project-based learning is where students kind of direct their own learning, so they're given a focus question and then they have to come up with their own ideas about it and find their own resources and guide their own learning without so much help from a teacher.
PBL is just different to normal learning because you're working towards sort of a common goal and you sort of focus on feeding off everyone else's ideas rather than just like writing like the teacher's ideas. So like helps you become heaps more independent and like free thinking.
The great thing about PBL is that it forces the students to think not only creatively and critically, but also to think independently and to think relevantly. So is this information relevant to my mini question, and is it relevant to the driving question? And to be really independent and mindful and thoughtful of the research process that they have to go through in order to create the PBL, the desired goal or thing for someone.
What I really like about PBL is the independence and sort of the freedom it gives students. Like for example, in Year 10 we did a Hunger Games project and we all got to sort of relive the Hunger Games to like this really like creative writing kind of world, and we all sort of formed little alliances and ganged up on each other, and it was just really awesome like how different it was to how we all developed that way opposed to just sort of sitting in the class and creative writing. So it was really awesome.
It's different and we get a chance to learn how we learn best and try something we wouldn't usually try.
Yeah, and it's also fun because it kind of gets you to think creatively
and critically.
Yeah, just working in groups better. It's a challenge working in group. It's a bit harder than just getting your teacher to teach you everything. And yeah, it's good fun.
It gets you to think creatively and critically because you're not being spoon-fed information by a teacher. You really have to go and find it for yourself and come up with your own ideas. And there's generally a composition side to it as well as a critical side to it. So that's definitely, you're combining both.
So recently, just in my Year 12 class in English, we did a project on Shakespeare, and it was PBL learning about the context of Shakespeare for an online audience through YouTube. And through that process, we're forced to think critically and creatively about the research that we're doing. Is this relevant to our audience? Is this relevant to the question? And then personally, for our own learning, we have to think, now how is all that relevant for our driving question?
We did a really fun project in Year 10 where we had to come up with our own question and then go and research it and create a creative or critical piece. And it was really interesting because like you got to choose your own topic, and it was just really fun.
Yeah, and then we had like a fan fiction one in Year 11, which was really cool. So that was, we got to choose our own text and then do a critical study of that and a creative composition. Which
#slash.
Well, PBL allows kids to become more self-efficient and not rely on the teachers' kind of quotes ideas more than like other students.
Teachers should definitely try PBL because it initially puts students out of their comfort zone, but because of that they really start to develop skills that they're going to use in later life, especially in university.
I think that it's just so unique and so different, and you can sort of see the difference and how you learn in a PBL subject opposed to where it's just the syllabus and the content, and it just helps you develop heaps better as like a student and like a thinker, and it's just really cool.
I remember when Miss first told me we're going to do project-based learning instead of her teaching us, and I thought, what the hell, like she's crazy. She just doesn't want to do any work, but she actually does work, and it's challenging, and now I find it way better learning that way than any other way.
I hated it at first, but then it was a lot more fun once I understood how to do it.
Yeah, and we didn't want to leave it.